Back in my childhood, when I was like in third grade, one night when I was supposed to be just worrying about finding the channel for Tom and Jerry, I took the remote, I turned on the TV, and as I was changing the TV channels, accidentally I finished up like watching just a part, like 2 minutes of a politician discourse. And I was trying to look for the channel in which Tom and Jerry was playing on, I heard the last part of the speech of the politician. And I really remember what he said. He was saying that he was trying to implement a new way of education in which he could improve the skills of every person here in Mexico, give them more opportunities, and also take Mexico to a different level. So I said, wow, that's a good idea. I was a kid. And I just started hearing like all the people were applauding. And I said, oh, that's nice. So he's showing his ideas for Mexico and the people is reacting with applauses. I think that's cool. Okay, next morning, when my mom and I were on our way to school, I just started like thinking about how can I tell my mom that I like that thing. So I started telling her, Mom, do you really think one day I could be like the president of Mexico and do anything for my country? And my mom told me, you know what, you can do whatever you can dream, whatever you can establish as a goal, or whatever you want to do. We will always support you. And I said, it's because last night I was like listening to a speech of a politician which really attracted me, like what the things he was saying. And she told me, that's really cool, but you should know that politicians, they are not used to be like the persons you're looking to. They're not really good people who can like accomplish all the goals they are telling us they will. They are not people that are used to manage values that you like to. And sometimes they even lie just to gain the attention or persuade the people. And I said like, well, I mean, I was amazed about the performance the politician had, and now I don't know how to react. I mean, is that good? Is that bad? What should I do? So I said, it's a very different reality than the one I was looking to. So I just said, okay, let me continue thinking about another way I could help Mexico. But in 2010, I had the opportunity to meet the president in Piedras Negras, and I was talking to him in an interview. So I asked him like, well, what are your proposals for here for our city? How can you achieve that goals? How can you do like a better city for our city? He started telling me different goals he had, and I was very excited about the things he was saying for the city. So I continue to follow that proposals, and in a few years I saw that the results he was assuring me he will have. So in fact, our city was the third safest city in the country, and he implemented different things that I knew he will, and I saw that it was like 70% of the things he told me he accomplished it. So I started gaining faith again. I told my mom, you know what? I really think that could be an option, and I really think that politics is not the cause, the good cause in Mexico. I think that is the people that make politics. But back in 2014, the city suffered a series of attacks of the violence. So, and even 3 months ago, our former president was murdered. And it was just by the criminals who were just trying to kill him because he wasn't able to establish a communication with them. So I started realizing again, you know what, even if you're a good people in politics, you may not succeed the way you want because you're forced to establish connections with criminals that you don't want. And I said, what should I do? I want to give Mexico something because I like this country as if it's the one I was born in, even when I wasn't. And I said, you know what? I want to find something that I can feel comfortable of, like managing that situation in order to help my country. And I said, okay, well later on I could get something. Then I started hearing about the freedom of expression in different media, and I said, you know what, that could be an option. But suddenly happened the thing with Aristei, that he was fired because he was showing the reality of our actual president. And I said, you know what, I don't know what to do here in Mexico. I feel like oppressed, I feel like I cannot do anything, and this is a reality I wouldn't imagine when I was a kid. And last year I started listening to different people, and we organized like an event where different good speakers went to, and they started talking about the ways you can transmit something positive even if you're not a public figure, that you can transmit some positive message even when you're not in a specific field. You can transmit those positive messages to anybody in your daily life in order to help them look a different way of their country. And that can help them to educate their children different, to educate their family members different. And we can even dream of a new generation with different values, with a different mentality, and that can really take Mexico to a different level. So I started thinking, yeah, that's the purpose. It's not about what the field you are in. It's about your passion and the way you want to achieve it. Thank you.